there is a potential disaster that we have to avert among the Democratic National Committee and the Democratic Party. Former Vermont Governor Howard Dean says he is running for his old job atop the Democratic Party. Dean tweeted on Thursday, "The Dems need organization and focus on the young, need a 50-state strategy and tech rehab. I am in for chairman again." Now, you might remember that from 2005 to 2009, Howard Dean was indeed chairman of the Democratic National Committee. Right now, Donna Brazile is serving as interim chairwoman after the disgraced Debbie Wasserman-Schultz stepped down right before the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia. I don't want lack of clarity right now. To channel Phil Davison, I want clarity this evening. Howard Dean, again, as president, as chair of the DNC, would be a disaster for Democrats. Do not put Howard Dean in that position. Now, before I get into the details of why now, let me remind you, when Howard Dean became a healthcare lobbyist and all of a sudden was against the single-payer healthcare he had been for most of his political life. Remember this video? Take a listen to this.
If I could interject as referee for a moment, I mean, it strikes me that the sort of legitimate good faith attack is to say, look, it was really hard to pass the ACA. Opening up a fight on health care politically could backfire, which is the most charitable version of what Chelsea Clinton was saying, as opposed to the idea that, like, Bernie Sanders is going to try to take away your health care, which seems implausible.
I don't think, well, I mean, yes, Bernie Sanders certainly had no intention of taking away anybody's health care. The question is, would his plan result in the kind of chaos of trying to implement it that in fact would undo people's health care? That people should be concerned about. Look, we're never going to have a sensible debate about this between now and the convention. It isn't going to happen. There's too much politics in it. But in fact, this is the classic race of the visionary and the pragmatist, and I've chosen the pragmatist.
All right, Howard Dean, thank you very much.
That is explanation as to why Bernie Sanders and his ideas are just not good. So not labeled, by the way, as a lobbyist, but showed up there and said, yeah, it's not really something we want to do. And then again on MSNBC, again not labeled as a lobbyist, equated super PACs to labor unions, which is such a bogus and depraved comparison. But here's what he did.
Was it a mistake politically to show herself to be so closely tied financially to the Wall Street
This got mentioned on Morning Joe the other day, and I said, well, I didn't think she'd done this, and Joe went and found out, that she'd given speeches to colleges, for example. It turned out that money was either put up by donors and had nothing to do with the colleges, and a lot of it was given back to the Clinton Foundation, which is a major charity which has done great things for people all over the world. Why does Hillary Clinton have to put up with a double standard? I don't hear anybody asking Bernie Sanders for his transcripts for some speech he made with the labor union. And for Bernie, even frankly, for Bernie to say that he doesn't have a super PAC, labor unions are super PACs. Now, they're super PACs that Democrats like, so we don't go after labor unions.
Wow.
But this is a double standard. I am tired of the attacks on Hillary Clinton's integrity.
Yeah, well, he's tired. We're still putting together our plan for the next few years, and already the Democrats are at risk of going backwards even more. This is a path backwards for Democrats. This is what ruined 2016 for Democrats, the selection of sort of establishment center-right ideas. I've been reading comments like, hey, wait, but Howard Dean was the architect of the 2008 Obama victory and the Democratic supermajority. Different situation. We would need to hear expressions of interest in involving less established and more progressive members of government. Slamming Bernie for being in support of single-payer health care is not sending the message, Pat, that the Democrats understand what went wrong in 2016.
And this will send a clear and resounding message that we're done with people like Debbie Wasserman-Schultz and Donna Brazile's and Hillary Clinton's. We want a true progressive to take over as the DNC chair.
Well, Politico reported late last week that Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders is backing Congressman Keith Ellison from Minnesota to be DNC chair. Ellison was a top surrogate for Sanders during the primary, and MoveOn.org also released a statement saying the DNC needs to clean house. Ellison would make an excellent chairman. That is a more reasonable idea. Now, there are Green Partiers and Jill Stein supporters who are saying, David, I'm against this. Ellison is not left enough. You got under 1% of the vote after a nonstop campaign about how great Jill Stein is. No one at the Green Party is ready to lead. I would not be taking any direction from the Green Party, but I would also not be taking any direction from the establishment DNC people, all of whom deserve to be fired. I can't justify anyone at the DNC keeping their job after what happened during the 2016 race. and putting Howard Dean in there, who showed up, a lobbyist not labeled as such, on TV multiple times to defend Hillary Clinton's establishment ideas and trash Bernie. No, absolutely not. Do not take the step backwards if you are the DNC. And this is going to be high on our list of agenda items going forward. We'll take a break.